It's not March Madness without a little craziness. I'm going to go with Oral Roberts. This is my biggest upset of the first round. Actually, you know what? You know what? Screw it. I'm going with Oral Roberts. I'm thinking about this. If they can beat Ohio State, they should have momentum, and they can get to the Sweet 16.
Washington, off the mark, and it's over. It's March. Expect the unexpected. Oral Roberts, the 15 seed. The upset makers are history makers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year. March Madness, maybe the best time of year. I love this time. I love the few days building up to March Madness because why? Obviously, because everyone's making their bracket, and that's the best part, trying to pick these upsets, trying to pick our national champion, and trying to look like a genius. Now, obviously, last year, well, from what you saw in the beginning of this video, I picked Oral Roberts not only to upset Ohio State as a 15 seed, but I also had them in the Sweet 16. Now, when I take a step back and think about that, that might have been one of the greatest moments of my life. And that's not to dismiss what I've done in my life so far, but that's just to kind of oversell how awesome of a moment that was. Oral Roberts, but overall the rest of the bracket, I didn't do that well. And normally I don't because there's bias involved and I don't know that much. And I sometimes overthink things. So with that being said, guys, just know that try not to copy my picks necessarily because I don't really know what I'm talking about that much. I watch a little bit of college basketball, but I'm not even close to an expert. And there's just so much randomness and chaos and madness in this tournament. So let's fill out our bracket. Comment your opinions, guys. Definitely do that. And do not copy my bracket because it's probably not going to be even close to right. But with that being said, let's have fun. Let's do our March Madness bracket for 2022. We're going to start with the West region, Gonzaga and Georgia State. Gonzaga, the #1 overall seed. I'm surprised they're playing Georgia State because Georgia State might be the best 16 seed. They pulled off an upset many years back with R.J. Hunter when his dad, Ron Hunter, was the coach. They're usually, when they make the tournament, they're higher than a 16 seed. And I don't know why they're this low, but well, with that being said, Gonzaga's winning this matchup, obviously. I don't see them losing. Definitely not in the first round. Boise State and Memphis. Now, this might be a little bit of a sentimental pick because I do have family from Ohio and I have a lot of family members that went to Boise State, and therefore I watched them a lot this year. They were the Mountain West champions. They're a veteran team, a big team. They only have one guy in their pretty much rotation that's under 6'5", and that's Marcus Shaver. Memphis, good team, big team, physical. Penny Hardaway finally got them to the tournament, but I'm going with Boise State to win that 8-9 matchup, which is really just a toss-up pretty much all the time. It's almost literally a toss-up 50-50 most of the time. #5, UConn. #12, New Mexico State. Now, it seems like New Mexico State makes it most years as either a 12 or 13 seed, and they've never really pulled off the upset. A lot of people most years think of them as an upset candidate, and they never do it. UConn's really good, but I'm going with New Mexico State. I love the 12-5 upsets most year. I pick at least like 2 seemingly, and I think New Mexico State finally pulls off the upset. They're coming in hot, having won their conference tournament. And the Big East, I think it's a little bit overrated this year. I don't think it's that good. Then we move on to Arkansas and Vermont. Arkansas is coached by Eric Musselman, who always does well in March Madness, always overachieves, overperforms for his team. So I wouldn't be surprised if they won this game, but Vermont is entering this game super hot. 27-6, 17-1 in conference play, won their conference tournament. They have great guards. They're a better shooting team than Arkansas, so I'm going with a 13-4 upset. I love picking these upsets. So we have a 12-13 matchup in the next round. Vermont, the Catamounts, pull it off. Then we have #6 Alabama, who might have been a little overseeded against #11, the winner of Rutgers and Notre Dame. The first 4 matchup. I think Rutgers will win this game. We'll see. And because Alabama, I'm a big proponent of picking teams that are entering the tournament doing well. Alabama's not playing their best basketball right now. And historically, it seems that always at least one first 4 team wins at least one first round matchup, one round of 64 matchup after winning the first 4 game. So I will go with the winner of Rutgers and Notre Dame. Probably Rutgers. I think they have a better chance because they've won some big games this year. Texas Tech and Montana State. Montana State out of the Big Sky. They had a really good year. Texas Tech might just have the best defense in the entire country, and they're a very, very good all-around team. I'm going to pick them to win this game. #7, Michigan State. #10, Davidson. Michigan State has some big wins. It remains to be seen if Tyson Walker, their guard, will play, but they usually do well in the tournament. Some people like Davidson winning this game. I like Michigan State. I like Tom Izzo in March Madness pretty much every year. I don't think they're going out in the first round. Obviously, they were embarrassed that one year by Middle Tennessee, so I will forever be slightly disappointed by Michigan State for that. but I still think they'll win this game. Duke and Cal State Fullerton, 2 versus 15. Coach K's last year as a coach. This team, Duke team, has so many NBA prospects, so talented. I don't think Cal State Fullerton has a chance to win this game. I'm going with Duke. Baylor, Norfolk State. Now we're moving into the East region. Baylor's winning this game. Baylor, a lot of people don't like Baylor. They think, well, they did win the national title last year, but I think Baylor this year might be the weakest 1 seed, but they're definitely not losing to Norfolk State. Of course, it's happened before. 16 seed did win 1 time, but I'm not picking a 16 seed. Okay, I'm just going to spoil that right now for you guys. North Carolina, Marquette, an 8-9 matchup. These, again, they're always unpredictable, but North Carolina's size, their front court's fantastic. Armando Bacot, Brady Manick. This is a really, really good North Carolina team playing really well right now. I don't think Marquette's going to have a chance to win this. I mean, well, I don't think Marquette's winning this game. That's what I think. Then we have number 5, St. Mary's, number 12, the winner of Wyoming and Indiana. This is interesting because I don't ever remember a first 4 game being between 2 12 seeds. I always remember it being 2 11 seed games and then 2 16 seed games. I don't know why it's a 12 seed this year, but it is what it is. Whoever wins this game, I already have a first 4 team advancing, so I will go with St. Mary's, a veteran team, a good all-around team that normally has a really good offensive team and can be tough to stop in March. So I will have them advancing. UCLA against Akron, 4 versus 13. Kind of a tough draw for UCLA. I think Akron is a good team playing well right now, and that conference, I forgot what, it's the same conference that Buffalo's in. I think it's like the, I forgot the name of the conference, I'm sorry. But this conference actually has pulled off some upsets in the past, but I will go with UCLA to win this game. I think UCLA is really good. Same team, that pretty much the same team from the Final Four squad last year. Texas, Virginia Tech. This one's going to be so unpredictable because first of all, it's a 6 versus 11. You never know how those are going to go. Virginia Tech is coming in hot, having won the ACC tournament, winning the championship over Duke, surprisingly. Texas, they're just so unpredictable because at the beginning of the year they were playing well, then they have had periods where they look bad, and then sometimes they look good. I have no idea. But Chris Beard, great coach. He always does well in March Madness. I will go with Texas. It could go either way. Yale, the Ivy League winner against number 3 Purdue. Purdue has Jaden Ivey, Zach Edey, some of the best talent in the entire country. I will go with Purdue to win this game. I think Yale is a little bit overseeded at 14. They won the Ivy League, but they weren't the best team in the Ivy League. If this was Princeton, who was supposed to win the Ivy League as the favorite, they should have been a 14. Yale should not be a 14. I think they're too high. Number 7, Murray State. Number 10, San Francisco. San Francisco making their first tournament in a long time. But Murray State, guys, this is my sleeper team, okay? They're 30-2, the best record in the country, just overall record. They're 18-0, or they were undefeated, I think, in their conference play, Ohio Valley. They are scorching hot. They won 20 games in a row. I will go with Murray State to win this game. And then the winner, and then Kentucky's beating St. Peter's. I don't see St. Peter's beating Kentucky, especially with Oscar Tshiebwe, who might be the best player in the country right now, averaging over 15 rebounds a game, which is ridiculous. Arizona, winner of Wright State and Bryant. This is the round of 60. This is, what was the name of this? Which region was this? Hang on. South region. South region, round of 64. Arizona, they're beating the winner of this game. Doesn't matter who wins that game. Seton Hall, TCU, a classic 8-9 toss-up. I have no idea who's winning this game. But I'm going to go with TCU. I think they're playing slightly better right now. And I want to go with at least 1 9 seed. I had the other 2. I had an 8 seed. And usually it's not going to be 4 8 seeds and 4 9 seeds advancing. So I will go with TCU. That could go either way. Houston, number 5 against number 12, UAB. UAB Blazers, University of Alabama, Birmingham. I love 12-5 upsets, and I'm going with another one. UAB has really good guard play. They're really good at scoring. They're a great shooting team. They're hot right now. They won the Conference USA Championship. Houston's not playing as well as they did in the beginning of the season. Kelvin Sampson's a great veteran coach. Houston got to the Final Four last year, but I like UAB. They're hot, and I think they pull off the upset. Number 4, Illinois. Number 13, Chattanooga. Chattanooga looks like an upset team because they have a good record. They won the conference tournament in an exciting way with a buzzer beater, but they got a really tough matchup with Illinois. Illinois is a really good 4 seed, especially with Kofi Coburn, one of the best players in the country, an incredible big man. Yeah, it's just a tough matchup for Chattanooga, so I'm going to go with Illinois in this one. Colorado State, number 6, number 11, Michigan. I think Boise State was actually underseeded. I think Boise State should be at least the same seed as Colorado State because they won the Mountain West. Colorado State didn't even make it to the Mountain West finals, but they have a better record than Boise State, but Michigan's a tough draw, but I'm going to go with Colorado State. The Mountain West recently hasn't done too well in March Madness, but I'm going to go with Colorado State. I think they're better. They're the better team. Michigan struggled a lot this year. They do have Juwan Howard coming back, but overall they're 17-14, very inconsistent. I just think Colorado State's been the better team for most of the year. Number 3, Tennessee against number 14, Longwood. A lot of people have been complaining that Tennessee is underseeded as the 3, and I agree because they've played so well. They won the SEC title, but unfortunately, I noticed this. A lot of people have been complaining. Those Sunday conference tournament games a lot of times don't factor into the seeding. I truly believe that if Tennessee won that conference tournament title on a Saturday, they had a better shot at being the 2 seed. They're probably the best 3. I think they're underseeded, and Longwood is for a 14. They're not that good. I don't really see I think this would be shocking if Longwood won. Love the name, by the way, hilarious, Longwood. But Tennessee, I think, is ultimately going to win this game. Then we have number 7 Ohio State and number 10 Loyola Chicago. Ohio State got a horrible draw. I think Loyola Chicago is the best 10 seed. We know the last couple times they've been in the tournament what they can do. Their defense is smothering. They have an incredible defense. They hold opponents to under 60 points seemingly every game. Ohio State's pretty solid, but they haven't been playing too well as they were in the beginning of the year. They fell out of the top 25. Loyola Chicago, they seem to do it every time they get in. Tough draw for Ohio State. I will go with Loyola Chicago. Number 2 Villanova against number 15 Delaware. Delaware Fighting Blue Hens. Love the nickname, but Villanova just won the Big East tournament. Jay Wright's not going out in the first round, okay? They're very experienced. They're balanced. They've been here, done that. They're not losing in the first round. Then we move to the Midwest region. Number 1 Kansas, number 16 the winner of Texas Southern and Texas Corpus Christi. Who cares who wins because Kansas is winning that game, number 1 seed. Number 8 San Diego State, number 9 Creighton. Another toss-up. I have no idea. But do I dare go for my 3rd Mountain West team winning a game? I'm going to say yes because San Diego State has a great defense and Creighton has a good offense, struggles on defense. And a lot of times when you have a great offense against a great defense, I would oftentimes go with the great defense because the great defense slows things down. They're mature and they can stop a great offense, and sometimes great defense leads to great offense. So I usually go with the great defensive team. Number 5 Iowa, number 12 Richmond. The Spiders, love the nickname. First time in the dance in over a decade. Iowa is underseeded as a 5. This team might be one of the hottest teams in the country. They just won the Big Ten tournament. They score a ton of points, so many points. I think they might be the best offensive team in the entire country. They shoot the lights out. Keegan Murray, one of the best players in the country. Iowa wins this game. I liked Richmond as an upset team when they won the A10 tournament, but they get a tough draw with Iowa. I don't think they get it done. So then we have Providence against South Dakota State, the 4 versus 13 matchup. Providence, they've played well most of the year. They've had a really good year, but recently they've been slipping a little bit, and South Dakota State is playing so well. They haven't lost a single conference game. They're like 28 or 29-4. Amazing record. They're so hot right now. Very balanced team. Great shooting team. I found this out earlier today. They shoot 45% from 3. That is a recipe for an upset. I'm going with South Dakota State, the 13 seed, the second 13 seed that I have beating a 4. Then we have number 6 LSU, number 11 Iowa State. Now this is a battle of 2 teams that are not doing the best right now because LSU obviously just fired Will Wade, their coach, and there's just turmoil there. Iowa State's not playing that well either, but because of the turmoil with LSU, Iowa State is a better shooting team. I will go with Iowa State in the 11/6, with the 11 seed beating the 6, which is pretty much, that's kind of a 50-50 game in and of itself. I don't think an 11/6 is really an upset, but I always believe that when I make a bracket, I always try to have one 14 seed or lower, 14, 15, or 16 seed. I always like to have one of those in an upset prediction, one big time upset, if you will. So this is my big time upset, guys. Last year was Oral Roberts. That worked out. This year, number 14 Colgate against number 3 Wisconsin, who went out early in the Big Ten tournament. So they're not entering the dance exactly on a high note. Colgate is a great shooting team, just like last year. They're very similar to their team last year that made the tournament as a 14 seed, just like this year. In the first half against Arkansas, they had a 14-point lead. They were making every 3. It looked like they were going to pull off the upset. They were returning a lot of the same players from that team. I think they've learned, and I think this year they will pull off that 14/3 upset. That's my biggest upset of the first round. Then we have number 7 USC against number 10 Miami. This is an exciting game. I love this. 2 schools in big-time cities, the Metropolitan Bowl or whatever, battle or whatever. But you know what? It's tough. I'm going to go with Miami. Okay, Miami, I don't know why. There's not really an explanation. I like Jim Larrañaga. I like their veteran team. I'm going to go with them. They won over 20 games in the ACC. Even though it's a down year for them, I give them credit for that. I have them winning this game. Number 2, Auburn against number 15, Jacksonville State. Look, number 15's just, they're not, I don't see any number 15 team winning this year. Auburn was fantastic for most of the year. Jabari Smith could be the first pick in the NBA draft. And then you have that Kessler guy at the center position blocking 5 shots per game. So Walker Kessler, I was thinking of his first name. There you go. So yeah, they're not losing in the first round. They're in contention to win the whole thing, I think. Then number 1, Gonzaga plays number 8, Boise State. We're in the round of 32. Gonzaga is going to be tough to stop, guys. But here's the interesting thing. Boise State, I wouldn't completely count them out of this game because their longtime coach, Leon Rice, used to be the assistant for Mark Few at Gonzaga. So he knows this team and how Mark Few operates decently well. But with that being said, I'm not bold enough to go with Gonzaga, but I hope Boise State wins just because of that bias I have, and upsets are fun, but I'm going to go with Gonzaga. Then we have a 12 versus 13, which sometimes we have. It's not that rare. I think a couple years ago we had that. I don't think we had it last year, but 2019, I think we had 1 or 2 of those. Number 12, New Mexico State, or number 13, Vermont. Look, Vermont has Cinderella written all over them. I'm going with Vermont to get to the Sweet 16. They're coming in hot. They're playing so well. Great record, hot team, great guards, shooting team. That's just all those recipes. That's just a Cinderella team. I have them getting to the Sweet 16. Rutgers and Notre Dame, especially Rutgers, has what it takes to be a surprising 11 seed, go a lot further than we all anticipate, but Texas Tech is a great team. That defense, I don't think they will lose to either of these 2 teams. Then we have a great matchup, Michigan State and Duke. They've had some great March Madness battles in the past. How about that coaching matchup of Tom Izzo versus Coach K? I think Coach K gets it done in this matchup. I think he gets to the Sweet 16 in his last season. Number 1, Baylor. Number 8, North Carolina. A lot of people, like I said, aren't very high on Baylor, especially I think this is the least popular number 1 seed in terms of how far they go. This is the number 1 seed because it happens pretty much every year. At least one number 1 seed goes out kind of early, and a lot of people think that Baylor's that team this year because they don't have that same offensive firepower as they did last year. They're a great defensive team, but I think North Carolina, with their front court, it might be the best front court in the entire nation. They're playing really well. They just beat Duke in Coach K's last home game. I have them pulling off this upset and getting to the Sweet 16. Then we have number 4 UCLA against number 5 St. Mary's. UCLA might be the best 4 seed. I believe they are the highest seeded 4 seed. They have that experience from last year, the same core of Johnny Juzang, Jaime Jaquez, Tiger Campbell. This is the same team pretty much. They got to the Final Four last year, and they're better. I have them beating St. Mary's. Then we have Purdue and Texas. Good matchup. If Texas is right, they have what it takes to go far, but Purdue's just too talented, too good offensively. They have incredible size with Zach Edey being 7'4". I have them winning this game. Then we have a battle of Kentucky. Number 7, Murray State. Number 2, Kentucky. Ready for an upset? Murray State wins this game and moves on. Murray State is special, guys. 30-2, like I said. They won 20 in a row. I don't think anything's stopping them right now. They have a great offense, and I think a great sleeper team. Then we have Arizona and TCU. I will go with Arizona. I don't think Arizona's going out early, guys. Let's be honest. They're just too good for TCU or Seton Hall. UAB and Illinois. UAB, they're kind of that Vermont team where if they had a better draw, they could be a Sweet 16 team. I wouldn't be too surprised, but Illinois is really good. I don't think they're losing to UAB. They have too many good players, and they're just very balanced, and if everything's right, they shouldn't go out before the Sweet 16. Then we have Tennessee and Colorado State. Colorado State had a great season, but Tennessee is a great 3 seed coming in hot, won the SEC tournament. I will go with Tennessee. Number 2, Villanova. Number 10, Loyola Chicago. Would it shock me if Loyola Chicago did it again? It would not shock me. But Villanova is too good, having won the Big East tournament. They're a great balanced, all-around veteran team. They don't seem to get upset too early often, so I will have them winning that game. And we move to the Midwest, Kansas and San Diego State. Kansas could be vulnerable. I have no idea, but I'm going to go with Kansas. I don't think San Diego State has the offense to keep up with Kansas's offense. With Abaji, that guy was the Big Ten outstanding player of the conference tournament. They won the Big 12. Kansas won the Big 12 title, and I think some people are sleeping on Kansas. I think they're really good. Iowa, South Dakota State, again, another potential Sweet 16 team, but Iowa is the best 5 seed. I think they're winning that game. Iowa State and Colgate. Okay, if Colgate can beat Wisconsin, and Iowa State is not the best 11 seed, not playing the best, if Colgate gets here, let's be bold. Let's go with Colgate to win this game and get to the Sweet 16. Why not? Oral Roberts did it as a 15 last year. Why not Colgate do it as a 14 seed? Then we have the University of Miami against number 2 Auburn. Auburn lost to Texas A&M in the SEC tournament, but that's okay. They're still beating Miami. They're still definitely a better team in my opinion. Then we move on to the Sweet 16, Gonzaga and Vermont. Look, Vermont's had a great run up until this point, but let's be honest, Gonzaga is just too good for them. They're going to beat them. Texas Tech and Duke. This is not the greatest matchup for Duke because they're a young team, a lot of freshmen, and this goes against what I would normally do. I would usually go with a defensive team, but I think this team with Coach K, they're going to do a little something special this year. They're going to do, I don't know. I just feel this Duke team to get at least up until the Elite Eight. I think they're going to beat Texas Tech and move on with that great offense with Banchero and company. So we move down to North Carolina and UCLA, a very good matchup against two of the best, most storied programs in all of college basketball. But I will go with UCLA to get to the Elite Eight. I just think they've had a better year than North Carolina. They have that experience from last year. They're coming in relatively hot, so I will have them winning this game. Purdue and Murray State. Look, you got to have one Cinderella, right? Murray State, I'm just feeling them, guys. I don't know why. They're just hot. I think they're being slept on. They have veterans. They have what it takes, guys. They have what it takes to be a Cinderella team, and I want to have at least one, so I will go with them. Number 1, Kansas. Number 5, Iowa. To be honest, I could see either team winning this game. Both teams won their conference tournament, which is impressive, obviously, in a Power 5 conference, both of these teams being in Power 5 conferences. But I will go with Kansas to win this game. I think their defense is better, and I think they're gonna get it done. Something just tells me that, but I could see Iowa winning too. It's kind of a little bit of a toss-up to me, but I'm gonna go with Kansas. Number 2, Auburn. Number 14, Colgate. Look, if Colgate got to the Elite Eight, that would be crazy and awesome. But ultimately, I will go with Auburn to get to the Elite Eight. So what do we have here in the Elite Eight? We have 2-3-2-3, and then we have 4-7-1-2. So I'm not going all chalk, okay? We have some I'm sorry, hang on, wait, sorry. We have this Elite Eight. We didn't get to this. I skipped the region, guys, my bad. Arizona, Illinois. Look, Arizona's great all around. Illinois is great inside, but Arizona, they just do everything. They're so balanced, experienced. I will go with Arizona to win this game. Tennessee, Villanova, what a great matchup this would be. But Tennessee's coming in, playing some of their best basketball. I think they're underseeded as a 3. Like I said, I don't know why. I like the Vols this year. I think they're going to get to the Elite Eight and face Arizona. So now, okay, we have a 1-2 Elite Eight matchup. We have 2-1-2 matchups, 1-1-3 matchup, and then 1-4-7, kind of going a little bit chalk. But I will root for, some of these upsets. We'll see. Duke and Gonzaga. Gonzaga's the favorite, guys. And I personally never like to go with the favorite. And I just don't think this Gonzaga team's better than the team last year that couldn't win and was undefeated. And Coach K, this has storybook written all over it. Coach K getting to the Final Four in his last year. I'm going to go with this is kind of an upset. Duke over Gonzaga getting to the Final Four. Arizona and Tennessee, I could see either team being these two, I think, are the two best teams in the region. I think these two teams both have a great shot at getting to the Final Four. But I will go with Arizona. I think U of A is having a phenomenal year. So who will be our last two Final Four teams? Number 4, UCLA. Number 7, Murray State. Look, if either of these teams got to the Final Four, that'd be cool. I'd like it. But you got to go with one Cinderella, and I mean 5 seed or below, and Murray State is that team for me. I'm telling you guys, I don't know why. I just have 7 seeds. They've gone to the Final Four several times. If you want to go with a Cinderella pick, go with a 7 seed. It's happened. You obviously have South Carolina. Just a few years ago, they did it. UConn won the whole thing as a 7 seed. It's happened. It's 7 or 11 are the 2 seeds that if you want to go with a surprise team in the Final Four, go with those 2. Number 1, Kansas. Number 2, Auburn. Look, Auburn's had a good run, but Kansas is hotter, I think, and people are sleeping on Kansas. I'm going to go with Kansas in the Final Four. So we have Arizona, Kansas, Duke, Murray State. That's a pretty even Final Four. I think 3 of the 4 teams are usually seeded 1 through 3. Usually you get 2 1 seeds or 1, but you don't get 3 1s. At least 2 1 seeds don't make it to the Final Four. So by that recipe, I have 2 1 seeds. I'm following that recipe. Then I have a 2, so a 2 or 3. And then I have that Cinderella team. So this is kind of the blueprint that I try to follow. So we're going to start with Duke and Murray State. Usually this is where the Cinderella ride ends. So I will go with Duke to get to the national championship game, facing the winner of Arizona, Kansas. I think this is just Arizona's year. I love Arizona this year, playing so well, won the Pac-12 tournament, 30-3. I mean, they're just great, balanced all around, offensively and defensively. New coach this year, which helps because Sean Miller, they kind of, normally they underperform. In recent years, they've underperformed, but this is a new era. And I think Arizona gets to the finals to play Duke. So who wins the national championship, in my opinion? Well, I'm going to go with Arizona. I think they're finally going to break through and win their championship after all those years of being a high seed but going out early, not even making it to the Final Four the last several times that they were a top seed. So I will finally go with Arizona to break through. What's the score going to be? I'm going to say 74-71. Why not? In the 70s makes sense, and we'll enter those sweepstakes later. But guys, I'm going to make another bracket as well, but I'm just going to do one for a video. So Arizona wins my bracket this year, March Madness. U of A. Kills me to say that, by the way, as an ASU student, but something just tells me U of A, this is their year. So I will go with that, guys. Definitely make sure to comment your opinions. It's going to be a great March. Can't wait to watch it and see all my picks fail miserably, but that's part of the fun of it, right? Expect the unexpected, and we'll just see what happens. Let's have fun with it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. And guys, I think we're only 10 subs away from 1,000. So if you want to be awesome and like sports, hit that sub button. Help us get there. We're so close, guys. We're so close. Thanks again, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video.